Hello everyone, and Namaskar. This is Anshul Bhatt, AIR 22 UPSC CSE 2023. Now of late I've been getting a lot of messages on my Telegram, on my Instagram and on my email that please make a video regarding your prelim strategy since I got decent marks, that is 104.38 in my GS1 paper. So here is my prelim strategy, and in this strategy I'm going to talk about some sources and resources that no one talks about, and I think those sources are really important, and also I'll be giving you a little insights, so I hope you all will find this video helpful. So let us begin. So if we talk about polity, polity forms the crux of your preparation. It is that pillar on which the whole edifice of your preparation stands. So if I talk about the sources of polity, I would say everyone reads Lakshmikant, so that is a sine qua non. You should read Lakshmikant. And apart from that, I had read D.D. Basu and M.P. Jain and other books, but you can let go of those if you have to go beyond Lakshmikant, because we are seeing that UPSC is asking questions outside of Lakshmikant, especially in the recent years. Like even in fact in 2020 there were many questions that were bouncers for candidates. So I would say read Constitution of India, Bare Acts. So Bare Acts is the Constitution of India in its all entirety, in its bare beauty. So you can go through that, and you can read that in 3 iterations. First of all, give it a simple reading. In the second iteration, sit with a pencil and underline the important provisions in the Constitution, important articles. And then in the third reading, you can go and revise those things. In fact, if you talk about Schedule 10 of the Indian Constitution, in Bare Acts, there is one certain provision that is not even mentioned in Lakshmikant and in other books. So if you're watching this, do let me know what is that provision I'm talking about in the comments. And I think if you have to deal with unexpected questions in polity, so I think most of those questions are coming from current affairs, because in fact in last year's we have seen that there was one question, the right to privacy. So in which article is it mentioned, or in which article it is being construed? So had you read the judgment of case Puttaswamy, you would have known that it is article 21. So you have to link static with current and current with static. So you have to go through newspapers. And if I talk about newspapers, I think what I have done, you can do as well. I was reading 2 newspapers, that is Indian Express and The Hindu. And if you think that is a little too much, you can go for either Indian Express or for The Hindu. And if you have to do something in the middle, I would say read one newspaper and read the compilation of the explained papers of the other newspapers. Like if you are reading The Hindu, you can have a compilation of the Express explained, and you can read it alongside. And then we do have monthly compilations, magazines, etc., of different coachings. You can also go through that if you find that a little difficult, the newspaper things. So let us come to history now. So everyone talks about 3 basic books, that is R.S. Sharma, Satish Chandra and Spectrum. So of late I've been seeing that we are not getting many questions from R.S. Sharma, although there were certain questions from Satish Chandra and certain questions from Spectrum. So if I talk about history, what I had done, I'd read plenty books. I'd read Plasi to Partition, then I'd read the book by Sumit Sarkar, then I'd also read the books by Bipin Chandra, India Since Independence and India's Struggle for Independence. But you can let go of that. What you can do is, you can go for Spectrum. Then I would say if you have time, do read R.S. Sharma and do read Satish Chandra. And there's this one book that no one talks about, and even you might find it a little hilarious, and that is Lucent. Yes, I'm talking about Lucent, that humble yellow book. So it does have a section on ancient history, ancient Indian history and medieval Indian history and modern Indian history. What you can do, you can supplement that Lucent with other static books that you're reading, because one, that book is kind of ready reckoner. It gives you a sort of overview of all the topics. It helps you really in revision. And the second thing is, it has facts, and those are the facts that turn themselves into questions in the next prelims examination. So I've done that and I've found that really helpful. Apart from that, I would say there are many online resources that you can refer to that provides ready reckoners, that provides revision material, and you can go through that. And if you have to go beyond, if you have to take another step, I would say that go through previous year questions. I'm sure everyone is going through previous year questions. What you can do is, you can also go for previous year questions of CDS and CAPF, especially for the history sections. And what else you can do is that you can do a little bit of research on the options of the questions, because you'll see that many questions have been asked from the options of the questions. In fact, this holds true in the art and culture domain as well. And if I talk about art and culture, everyone talks about one book, that is Nitin Singhania. I had read that, but I was not able to revise that book before my examination. What else I had done was I had gone through some online ready reckoners that was there, but I think the thing that helped me was class 11th fine arts book, and that is a like really nice book. And in fact in Lucent there is a section after each ancient Indian history and medieval Indian history that talks about the culture. So I would say for art and culture you can read the NCRTs of fine arts, and what apart from that you can do is you can read the basic NCRTs. And when you are reading the NCRTs, I would say pay special attention to the boxes that are there in the NCRTs and to the maps. In fact, even if you are reading geography for that matter from NCRTs, do keep a special eye for the maps, because what happened in the last examination, last to last examination, there was some questions on dams. So if you had seen the geography NCRTs, there was this one map that had the names of the dams and the states where they were in, and that same question was asked in the UPSC CSE prelims. So that was all for history, and now I will be coming to environment and ecology. So if I talk about environment and ecology and science and technology, these two subjects are those subjects that can make and break your attempt. Because if we talk about polity, if we talk about history, if we talk about economics, everyone is well prepared with all these three subjects, and it is only environment and ecology and science and technology that makes and breaks your game, because here you have a lot of leeway to play with. And if you can make these two subjects your strong points, I'm sure that you'll get in, and you'll get in with a huge margin of marks. So if I talk about environment and ecology, I would suggest a very non-conventional source, that is the documentaries that are available freely on the internet. So in fact, one senior of mine, Mr. Vikram Grewal, he also talked in one of his talk about these documentaries, and my interest was naturally piqued, and I went to the internet and looked for these documentaries. So I would say there's this one documentary called Our Planet. So although it is a Netflix documentary, but it is readily available on the YouTube as well. So I have been seeing that there has been at least one question that is being asked in the prelims examination each year. In fact, this year the chimpanzee question that was mentioned in that documentary itself. And if I talk about other questions of environment and ecology, that there was this one question of honeybees. There's a certain dance that the honeybees do. So how I solved it, I had kept my ears and my eyes open, and in fact, one day I was scrolling through YouTube shorts, and I happened to see a clip of the Joe Rogan podcast. And in that podcast, he was talking about honeybees and how they do this little weird dance. So I could connect that point in my prelims examination. So I think this habit of keeping your ears and eyes open, of having curiosity, of looking in each and everything. For example, you're reading a newspaper, you see an ad, let's say of a mobile phone that features Gorilla Glass. So you will go and look into it, what is that Gorilla Glass. I think this habit of keeping your ears and your eyes open, in fact I'm talking to you about something, and then you add in your points, I add in my points, and it could be that the thing that we're talking about that might come in the UPSC CS examination. So you should always keep your ears and eyes open. You should talk to people, I would say. So yes, environment and ecology. I've talked about this one documentary, and apart from that, you can go for any static material, any basic resource. And I think there are 2-3 books available. I had gone through Shankar IAS environment book, but you can also go for the PMF IAS environment book as well. Those both are equally good, although not much questions come from that, but that provides a solid background. Apart from that, I think NCRTs, especially the biology one, they have some questions, they have some chapters, the biodiversity chapters in them. So I think those chapters are really important. And when you're going through the chapters, keep special eye for the pictures of animals and for the taglines that are below them, because in fact they can also be questions in your next upcoming examination. Apart from that, if I have to talk about environment and ecology, I would say go through PYQs. Yes, go through PYQs. And when you are going through, I'm sure everyone is doing PYQs, but when you are going for PYQs, I would say go and research about the options as well. Because in fact, in this examination, there was one question, which of these animals are nocturnal in nature, something like that. So I had gone through the PYQs and I'd seen those animals mentioned in the options, and naturally, because I was curious, I had researched those options, and that is why I was able to solve that question. And in fact, when you are researching about those animals, you can, if you are opening the Wikipedia page, there's another section called see also. You can also go to that section and see what other animals are associated with it, what other concepts are associated with it. And for example, if you're talking about critically endangered species that are found in India, you can go through the internet and you can look about them, all of them. So naturally, if you do like this, you'll have great marks in environment and ecology. So same goes for national parks, and same goes for wildlife sanctuaries as well. So that was for environment and ecology. Now let's come to geography. So I think the 11th and 12th NCERT geographies, they are more than sufficient for preparation. And because I've seen many people, they go for many advanced book like Majid Hussain and GC Long, etc. I had not gone through that. I had read 11th and 12th NCERT for geography, especially for prelims. And if you have some time, you want to go that extra mile, I think you can supplement it with the PMFIS geography notes that they have made. Apart from that, we are seeing that there's one thing called places in news that is coming. In fact, in the last examination, there were few questions of places in news. So for that, what you can do, you can keep an eye on the newspapers, what all places are being talked about. And when you are researching about those places, you're going to Wikipedia, go to the see also section, and you can see other places that are mentioned there. And apart from that, what you can do is you can go for geography PYQs. And I think in the 1996 and 1997s, in those they have also asked the same type of question, places in news. You can go and research about those places and then associated places, that are places that are associated with them. And now we're also seeing that there are many conflicts that are emerging in the world, and then you can read about those conflicts and you can know about the places, in which areas those conflicts are there, and what has been the history of those places. So directly or indirectly, you will see that questions come from there. In fact, if you have to do that, you can also supplement your preparation with online videos. And I'm not talking about the coaching videos, I'm talking about real newspapers, news channels. Like there's one channel called The Print. In Shekhar Gupta, he talks in the Cut the Clutter, in his program, he talks about the conflicts that are happening in the world. So he talks about places and all with maps and all. That's really good. You can go and watch those. I think that would be all for geography. Now, if we come to economy, I would say people read many basic books. They go after notes and all. So rather than that, what you can do is you can go for introductory macroeconomics. That is the staple book for class 11th and 12th children. And if you do not understand the NCERT version, you can go for some other publication that the school children find good and useful. So you can read and do that, the introductory macroeconomics. And I've seen that many people, those who are from engineering background or those who have not studied economics, they find it particularly harder to do economics. But I would say that it is a very logical subject, and if you could just go and connect the dots, you would find that it is really easy. And we are seeing that in economics, if you talk about topics, there's this one topic called the banking chapter, then we have the CRR, SLR, liquidity adjustment corridor, and the MSF, etc. These are the concepts that you should be thorough with. So what you can do, if you find a new concept, go and Google about it, know about it. Apart from that, I would say the PYQs, like the PYQs are staple, you must be thorough with them. And yes, economy. If you talk about economy, what I had done, I had read the past economic survey of 3-4 years, and I think if you're reading the surveys, it provides a solid background, and you can supplement it with the budget as well. And I've seen that people go for many summary videos on the internet. Rather than going for summary videos, what you can do, you can go to the official website, and you will see that they have provided the summary of the economic survey and the budget along with infographics on the official website itself. So rather than having your own short notes, what you can do, you can download and print those and you can read those. And also schemes. Yes, I would include schemes in the economic subsection only. So talking about schemes, we have seen in the last paper also, there was some question on schemes. So there are many monthly compilations and many yearbooks, etc. You can go through that and you can know about the schemes. Although the cost benefit ratio is low, but if you have time, you can do that. Now let's come to science and technology, right? This science and technology is like a really good domain you can play in, because here it doesn't matter, because here if you are able to score marks, you can increase your score phenomenally well. And if you are someone from humanities background like I am, do not be scared, because to be good in science and technology, you do not need to have a B.Tech degree, you do not have to have a BSc degree. What you want, what you need and what you have to have is a scientific bent of mind, is a scientific aptitude, is a scientific temperament. So I would say to build that, you can go through 6 to 10 class NCRTs of science, although it is not important. But if you have time, you can go through that or take up any static source. But apart from that, what you can do is, I would say, whatever you're seeing in daily life. For example, you're seeing Aditya L1, the talks going about the privatization that is happening in the space sector. We are having many companies like the Agnikul, then we are having other companies, Skyroot company, etc. You can go and research about that. You can go to ISRO websites, you can go to NASA website, you can go and know the difference between sunspots and solar winds, what is the difference between them, what are the different layers of sun, what is the moon, how much time does it take, etc, etc. You can go and research about those. What is this black hole that we are talking about, what is God particle. You can go to YouTube and you can go and watch videos. They are, number one, they're interesting, and number two, they will help you in your preparation. And if we talk about science and technology, I would say keep an eye for the recent happenings that is happening all around you. For example, if I had to give you an example, I would say during the COVID pandemic time, India had made some vaccines, and in fact there was one dedicated page of Indian Express Explained that was talking about vaccines. And in that very year, we see that there was this question asked about vaccines in prelims, and that those questions were taken directly from there. So if you talk about the major topics that happen to fall under science and technology, I would say there's AI, there is biotechnology, then there is defense, there is space. So you have to keep an eye for that. And if we talk about biotechnology, you will see that there are some chapters in class 11th and 12th NCRTs of science that are important. For example, in chemistry of 11th and 12th, I think there's one chapter called chemistry in everyday life, and then there are some chapters in biology in 11th and 12th that talks about different technologies that can help you in having babies. Like there was one question about 3-parent baby and other things, the CRISPR technology, etc, etc. So I think those NCRTs will be really beneficial and helpful to you. And what I'll do is I'll have those chapters cut out and I'll post them in my Telegram channel, that its link will be mentioned below in this video. So you can have that, you can utilize that from my channel. So that was all with science and technology. And apart from that, I would say there's one really good Telegram channel called MyGov News Desk. So you will see that they provide news snippets and infographics and all. Rather than following Telegram channels, having meme pages and all, following Telegram channels of those pages, you can go and follow this MyGov News Desk. So they'll provide you with updated news and infographics and snippets. Or I think that is all. So in fact, this prelims is only in 60 days, so that is why I was in a little rush to make this prelims strategy video. I know it is a little bit short, but I think if you still have doubts, and I think there is something that I need to add on, I'll make another video for this prelim strategy. And in fact, I will have a separate video dedicated how you should prepare in this last 60 days for prelims, since prelims is like really close now. And what else we can do, if you have some queries, you can comment down below on this video. And I think that would be all from my side. Yes, if we talk about the prelims, if we talk about how to attempt the paper, let us talk about that as well. How to attempt the paper, or what we can do, I'll have this covered in my 60 days strategy for prelims. We can talk about CSAT now. Yes, CSAT, the paper 2. So I think CSAT has been a sore spot for many people, and in fact people from IITs, they have not been able to crack CSAT this time, because I've seen a few of my known people who are from technical background, and they've done BSc, and some of them have done BTech, but they were not able to solve the CSAT paper. So what I would say is, I would say develop a habit of reading non-fiction books, and since you're reading newspapers, I would say read newspapers a little bit more thoroughly. What it will do, it will help you with reading comprehension. And if you want to go to the next step, take up the PYQs of reading comprehension, solve those, and see the official, I would again repeat, official answer keys. And if you are done with that, I would say then go for the CAT examination reading comprehension passages. Then I think your reading comprehension would be sorted. and if there is still doubt, I would make another video about it. And if we talk about the maths portion of CSAT, I would say it is like really dynamic. It is changing, because what used to happen, we used to have a direction sense question. At least there would be one question every year, but I think last year there was no direction sense question, so I cannot predict what topics will come, what topics will not come. But I think you should prepare all topics equally well. But if I had to say that prepare these topics, I would say number 1, that is number system, number 2, that is blood relations, and number 3, that is permutation and combination. I know permutation and combination is a little difficult, but you can keep aside combination, you can work on permutation. So what you can do, you can utilize class 11 NCRTs, class 11 NCRT maths for permutation combination. And for number system, you can go through any basic book, or you can have some online free video lectures. I think that would sort out your CSAT as well. But if there is still any doubt, you can always comment on this video, and you can always send me a mail. I have mentioned my mail ID in my Telegram channel. So I think that would be all from my side for now. If you have any queries, if you have any doubts, feel free to comment, or feel free to message me, or feel free to contact me through my email ID. So that would be all. I hope you all will find this video really helpful. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Namaste.